Welcome back to Anidorks.
Welcome back to Anidorks.
Welcome back to Anidorks. That's like if we were like doing a podcast as like preteens. That would be the act. Like that was the voice. Like when you're trying to sound more grown up. I don't know why,
to
but
me
it's like
it's
you just strain your voice.
To me, it's like an anime boy. So it's like, here's what you missed on Dragon Ball, or like,
oh my god, you're so good at that. That's
Previously
crazy.
on Anidorks.
Exactly.
No, Eddie, that was close, but Miranda really got it. Can you do it again, Miranda?
Here's what you missed on Dragon Ball.
My name's Dougie. Anyway, I can't do it.
What would be our Hokage?
How do you not just do that all day? Like if I could do
tiring. In 1996, Scholastic began publishing Animorphs. Over the next 6 years, Katherine Applegate and her husband, Michael Grant, under the pseudonym K.A. Applegate, produced 54 main series books, several spin-offs, and inspired a TV series, graphic novels, and a cult following. We can't tell you where we live. We can't even tell you our last names. But we can tell you our thoughts and feelings on this series, book by book. I'm Miranda.
I'm Eddy.
And I'm Chris.
And we are... The Anidorks.
These may be kids' books, but we discuss dark themes and mature content. There may also be some explicit language. Listener discretion is advised.
So, I did this book. So sad, this book.
This book could be happier. Would it kill this book to smile a little bit?
Birds don't smile, Chris.
But they look so pretty when they smile.
Cry. Birds don't cry is definitely the thematic. If it doesn't end up being the title, it at least
we already had a
Hawks
don't smile, boys don't cry.
Yeah, we did.
But Birds Don't Cry is again the theme of this book.
That's true.
Could it be Hawks Don't Cry 2, Birds Don't Smile? Is that
no? That's the worst thing I've ever heard.
Well,
that's not gonna work.
I'm trying to make
cry
a sequel.
while hawk. Just keep it inside. Learn how to hide the feeling.
Okay, you guys, maybe what we do is we go for a reference that's like over a year and a half old and wasn't good. Maybe we finally do the Hawk Tua reference.
Oh no!
Maybe that's
when you cry so much you spit. We call that a Hawk Tua.
Oh God!
When do you cry so much? Like when you drool? Is that what you mean?
I think you might be taking this premise too seriously.
Yeah, it's more of a like when you're blubbering and you're like there's moisture on your mouth and you go like you know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
No, I don't know what you mean, but yes, and
I'm thinking more of the hanging snot. That's what I'm thinking.
Oh, why would you think
Eddie.
of that?
No. It's a good thing. It means you're really going.
Look away while you fix it. We'll look away while you fix it. Okay, guys, here's the thing. I don't want to talk about this book. It's too sad. And we left off at a really dramatic point last time.
We did.
Yeah, so now we got to pick up all this energy. And here's the thing. I don't have any energy. It's freaking 90 degrees outside.
Really hot out.
Let's do it.
At least we're jumping into a very exciting moment. I think that's going to propel you right through.
It's not like the wind's going to get pulled from our sails immediately upon this.
No, it's not like there's going to be a weird energy fluctuation or anything. All right, Chapter 25. The Animorphs and the Free Hork-Bajir have reached the secret facility. It's located in a perfectly round bowl full of cereal that has been blasted out of the earth and then is hidden with a hologram. The facility looks like a power station. Axe points out the gigantic Draken beam positioned atop the building. He comments that it's powerful enough to destroy mountains on Earth's moon. Well, then why do we have it down here? Jake asks if they could point that big Draken beam at the ground, and then he and Axe exchange knowing smiles. Having recently watched big Draken beam at ground compilations online, Jake shares the plan for the mission. 4 Hork-Bajir will enter the facility and none will leave, as if they were just doing another rescue mission, and then purposely get caught by the Yeerks. Once they've been in prison, the Animorphs will reveal themselves as stowaways hidden aboard the Hork-Bajir and destroy the facility. Ah, yes, because they're going to jump on as little bugs.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the thing. The plan is a go. The four Herc-Bajir enter the facility and get caught just as expected.
What did you call?
All right. I don't know. I don't know what I called you, and I regret it.
There's this chapter has a couple like really silly moments that are somehow just brushed right past.
Yes,
like
totally.
Making fun of the size of the Draken beam. That the size is embarrassing. It's just
that the size is embarrassingly large.
Yeah.
Because your technology is not as efficient.
Exactly. It's not as
and they
sleek
don't care about
and refined.
miniaturization.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly. Yes.
But also just like rolling past. They said that if we bury the Hork-Bajir's heads in dirt, they'll stay passed out longer.
Yeah, why is that?
That's so weird.
Why
It's like
even
flipping
mention it, actually? I don't understand.
know.
What is it setting up?
It's like,
I guess it's saying, oh, this fight could take a long time, but we have this way of making sure that they won't wake up so that their Yeerks can't take over so that we can come back for them.
No, it does. It feels like
it's better than tying them up for some reason. Like,
Yeah.
well, because they're so pointy.
Yeah, you probably
But-
can't tie up a Hork-Bajir.
It does. It
Yeah,
feels
how
like
would you
they're
do it?
putting them into like a hold state that the book will then retrieve later. I think it is just so we know that they're rescuing the Hork-Bajir.
Right. It's kind of
Yeah.
like on the. It's kind of like on that the Beagle that Darwin was on.
Oh, okay,
and
not
they,
the dog.
And they took no the SS Beagle. I think. and then
Yeah.
they
No,
were
you're
like-
right.
They hit Galapagos and they're like, well, we're running low on food.
So
What
we'll just
do we
take
wanna
these
do? It's like,
tortoises.
let's take a bunch of these tortoises. And I figured out this neat trick. If you flip them on their back, they keep
can't.
themselves
Yeah,
fresh.
they don't
by
even know
staying
what's
alive.
happening. Yeah.
Yeah.
I do think we get. We've talked a lot about. Increasingly, we've talked about cryptids and why people might, what people might mistake for cryptids in these books because of the Animorphs and the alien invasion. David on the island, screaming so boats hear him when they pass.
Yep.
I feel like the fact that the Yeerks are just abducting backpackers. Now, I get that they're returning to backpackers just with a little Yeerk inside.
True.
I still feel like it creates the conditions where we could have people going, "Oh, don't go to this mountain because
People have been
don't
getting
come back, or they come back,
or they
weird.
come back different. Yeah,
They don't
like,
watch
you know
TV
what I mean?
anymore.
Like,
They watch.
just
They
stare
sit on
at
the couch and
turned
stare
off
at the
TV.
Yeah.
Another Nielsen family taken out by the Yeerk invasion.
I like that, Eddie, and I think we are adding to the lore of the area of the different dangers around the Yeerk bases and stuff like that. But I also think Marco's right that they have a really bad track record as bugs. And I really like
that's
that
true.
their maladaptive coping mechanisms are on full display here because, like,
You mean specifically Marco, right?
Jake,
No?
actually, because Jake tries to calm Marco down by being like, remember that time you had to shovel my guts back into me? Yeah.
Yeah, wasn't that fun?
Wasn't that? It was
Yeah.
fine. I was like, I know you've had it rough, but remember that time that because he's just like, I got slapped as a fly. And it's like, that's going to trigger a whole other traumatic memory. Are we playing, is this the bug oppression Olympics?
It do be like that. I mean, if you're an Animorph, you don't have a lot of people to talk to about your experience of having your fly guts squeezed out of you.
Is
you
true.
know, you gotta.
Is Jake the most traumatized though? Because I mean, I know I'm not trying.
I
to
don't want to play
the
that game.
trauma
I don't.
Olympics.
You are encouraging
But
it.
we did
You're
decide
about
that
to
this
turn into a
episode we
TikTok
were going to
video.
play the trauma
Oh my
Olympics.
God.
And so,
No,
yeah.
we're not playing the Trauma Olympics unless I'm allowed to play Trauma Center. I'll get
Okay,
my
we'll do it
DS
on
right
stream.
now.
All right, cool. We're going live.
But let me say, if I was the only one of us three co-hosts, of us three Anna Cool Kids that became a fly and my guts went everywhere and you two had to scoop them back in, I would definitely win the Trauma Olympics. I would be.
Wasn't Marco like bit in half?
Yep.
Yeah,
As an ant
got-
and as a shark.
and
Yes,
became a
like
giant.
His mom
giant
mysteriously
flea.
went missing and his Visser won.
Yeah. I love your Jake or you're a Jake apologist.
Yeah,
That's what
I'm
I'm
just
trying to say.
causing trouble, just like Jake.
You
so-
are. Yeah, just like Jake. Yeah.
I
They should have
also-
called these book series just like Jake.
Just like Jake.
Imagine if all of Animorphs was just called just like
Just
Jake.
like Jake.
This is just
And then
like
you read
Jake.
book
Every book
two.
they say that.
And it's
It's book 2, it's just like Jake. Rachel.
Rachel.
Rachel edition.
So Marco ends up deciding to use his wolf spider morph. And
yeah, I can't believe anybody agreed to let a wolf spider crawl on them.
Oh, I don't think the Hork-Bajir are afraid of spiders, but Marco famously used this wolf spider morph on the camping trip with the jet skis, where he got really embarrassed that he chased prey and like jumped on it and followed his spider instincts in front of Axe, who was also in the spider morph but did not get overcome by spider instincts. And I feel like that callback to that sort of like, oh, which am I, the animal, or the, you know what I mean? And that giving in to baser urges and things like that is, well, not the main theme of this book, is like a definite theme in this book. So I feel like the wolf spider was to bring your mind back to when Marco was the wolf spider and just prime you for that.
Like a little Easter egg.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like if you had to pick a bug.
Yeah.
At the very least, it's like a super satisfying moment of just the books remembering what's happened. And I do wonder how they kept track like of previous morphs, and then
I imagine their entire house was whiteboards.
Yeah?
Because it's going to be a pre-computer era.
Okay,
So
well,
I'm
if
just
you're sure,
imagining
Chris,
that-
I trust you. That's
As
how
we
they
may
kept
or may
track.
not know, someone may or may not have created a website just to track when they messed up.
Yes.
When K.A. Applegate messed up? Yeah.
But how would we have learned
man.
that?
Oh.
Should we move on to
Say.
chapter?
You're the freaking worst. You say I can't talk about it. And you're like, I'm just going to like edge the audience until they're...
They love it. That's why they pay.
They love
us
it.
on-
Everybody loves edging.
Only morphs is what this has
Only
become.
morphs.
All right. Here we go. Chapter 26?
Yeah. Chapter 26. The Animorphs are in their insect morphs, stowed away atop the Hork-Bajir, imprisoned in a cage. They need to remove the lock so that the Hork-Bajir can escape, and so Tobias demorphs to his bird form, then exits the cage. Tobias morphs into Ket Halpak, knowing that he will be well disguised here as just another Hork-Bajir. He approaches the leading Hork-Bajir guarding the cage and tricks him into leaving the cage. The guard even relinquishes the key to Tobias before departing. Tobias releases the free Hork-Bajir from the cage. The other Animorphs enter their battle morphs. Working together, they dispatch the other Hork-Bajir controllers on duty and lock them in the cage. Now, they just need to destroy the enormous Dracon beam at the center of camp. Tobias returns to his hawk form, delighted, so excited, and takes flight in order to provide an eye in the sky. Almost immediately, he can, however, tell that something has gone wrong.
So, I have to say, one thing we didn't mention last chapter is the most uncomfortable thing about every chapter with the Hork-Bajir in this book is they just keep reminding you how silly and dumb they are. Right, yeah. And that seems to almost be like further flaunted by the fact that like the Yeerks don't recognize Hork-Bajirs.
Yep.
Neither do humans. They're like,
Hork-Bajir racism saves the day. They have no idea what they can't tell them apart. So they're just like, who cares? Except that Visser 3 knew what Ket Halpak looked like.
Which, even for all the reasons you just said, when you're making the action figures of the Hork-Bajir, don't you want to see them in different bright, like purples and greens and oranges? I think that would be more fun. But then it would create a real problem for moments like this.
Oh, they'd be easier to tell apart. I understand.
Yeah.
But if they had very distinct, bright color patterns, it would be easier to tell.
I'm just saying, George Lucas
them.
would never have done this. He would have been thinking about the action figures already.
Oh, that's true. That was the real problem, is Animorphs didn't know how to sell dolls.
Yeah?
That's not true. I think they did sell dolls, but
I had one, a Transformer.
oh, hell yeah.
Chris, going off of what you said, there's a moment where Tobias says that Toby would have been too valuable to risk, and this is while he's speaking to, who is it?
yes, the seer versus seer. Seer versus seer moment.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. I forget which Hork-Bajir he's speaking to, but he's kind of rolling his eyes internally at how silly this Hork-Bajir is and how he wishes he had someone more intelligent present. And it just goes back to the thing we were speaking about another episode, because this is also the book where the whole implied consent thing happened with using the Ket Halpak morph. And it's just like, it just is an ongoing, like, it's one thing to have a dumb character, but I feel like having a dumb species is just a weird thing to
Yeah,
include.
it doesn't feel good.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel good.
Yeah. Yeah, like I could see it being like these books have a way of taking a long time to get to a point.
Sometimes. Sometimes they hit you immediately, but they are good at those long-term themes.
I'm sure they're doing this just to come back to it. And I mean, they addressed it like pretty well in the Hork-Bajir Chronicles.
Yeah.
So
I think that's what's rough is... I think I saw some people sort of talking about when you decide where to read Hork-Bajir Chronicles, like, basically, I just think it's really good to have read the Hork-Bajir Chronicles first to see what the kids are doing is wrong.
Yeah.
But, like, I'm hoping that it's not just like, well, we addressed that in Hork-Bajir Chronicles, so now we don't have to talk about it again. Like, I have faith.
It could just be asking us to sit with this uncomfortable side of Tobias. It just also...
Because we've seen how he treats other birds.
Yes. Yeah. It just also kind of feels like it's being played for humor for us, too. So,
Yeah.
I don't get the played for humor part. Like, I don't get that part.
No?
But I do, it is present.
Yeah.
I don't know. It doesn't feel like, oh, those silly Hork-Bajir or anything like bwah, bwah. I don't hear trombones or anything.
Yeah.
I can
when they're talking.
see it, but I also, I don't know. He means, so it's like, they're like, he's like, Tobias, or he's like, Jara, can you see me? And Jara says, Jara sees Bug.
Oh,
he says,
I
that's
see what
me.
you're saying.
And he says, Tobias?
Yeah.
Tobias is Bug?
Yeah.
He's like, yes, I am the
totally
Bug.
Right.
Like,
you're totally right.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's almost
Just
like you can
forgot all
imagine
about
like that blink, like that's what Tobias is doing in that moment.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we do.
Very Looney Tunes.
yeah.
We do get a cute moment where Tobias is the one to leave the cage because he says he's the smallest and easiest to hide, which is true. It's just also adorable. So
He also hawk walks. Hyphenated verb.
He does hawk walk.
He does it twice, and it's past tense both times. I hawk
We could just
walked.
turn that into a TikTok dance. I think we'd be ready to take
yeah.
off. Wow, I've never made myself sound so old.
keep going.
Keep going. In my day, I would wake up every morning and watch Patton twice.
There's also a cute moment. I had sort of forgotten this. One of the hawk walked is that he goes behind a tool shed and he feels like it's always weird when you see them using regular human stuff and it looked like one you could just buy at Sears. Like they didn't like build it. They just bought it at Sears.
Yeah, but I mean, that's called, that's like the economy of scale. It's efficient.
I know. It's just
off the shelf parts in a war.
It's very cute. I mean, maybe cute's not the word, but like
feels very real.
I missed one thing I wanted to mention last chapter too, that we have the return of holograms here because this cereal bowl in the earth with a dragon beam at the middle is disguised to
full
look
of me
like
Lucky Charms.
If like flew over in a helicopter or a plane, I think it said, they would
it would just look like
it would look like
a
bunch of kids playing baseball.
Yeah.
At 3 a.m.
in the middle
just
of
a
nowhere.
little night baseball.
And the child would say,
Cullens
nothing to
playing
see here.
baseball again.
Oh my God, those movies, man. All
So
right,
the baseball scene's ridiculously good, and I don't want to hear criticism, but we can move on to chapter 27.
Well, I just wanted to hit the pop culture references.
Oh,
We get a Taxon mention this chapter, which like just felt nice. Like,
True, we
it
haven't
must be
seen it.
it must be April 15th,
Yeah.
Yeah, Taxon Day, National Taxon Day. There was also a moment where somebody said the Hork-Bajir were armed to the teeth. And I was like, aren't they teeth to the armed?
Yeah,
like, they're
more that they're made of
stuff.
teeth. Yeah.
Yeah, they're made of teeth.
But I think
Anyway,
their
and then-
actual teeth aren't that sharp because it's just for chewing tree bark. So
Leaves
they
and bark.
probably
It's
all
true.
molars.
Yeah.
all molars. Oops, all molars.
Oops, all
And then we get.
molars. I don't want to see what nobody send me an ad. That's the most horrifying bitch. Oh.
Hey, Claude, show me oops, all molars. All right. Anyway, the other thing is we get Xena Warrior Princess reference.
Yes.
And then we get an evolution of the Patton joke where Patton version of Jake is now becoming John Wayne Jake.
Yes.
On the Patton to Wayne pipeline.
Is this where Marco...
Patented patent to Wayne pipeline.
I promised
Patented
that
patent
Marco
Wayne
would bat
pipeline.
his eyes later in the book, and you were convinced, Chris, that I was just projecting onto the book. Is that...
When did I say that? There's no evidence of that.
I don't see him batting his eyes. He says it with a laugh.
Oh, he's getting all John Wayne. Ooh, he's getting all John Wayne. Marco said with a laugh. Yep. Yeah, there's no batting at the eyes.
No, I bet.
No yeah.
Yep. It really seems like I just invented that whole cloth. So
You set that up like you had found evidence otherwise.
No.
And then you were like, I'll show you, and I was wrong.
Yeah. Oh, this is a chapter where someone thinks that they're laying a trap, and then someone else purposely sets off the trap. So I was giving an example of that.
That is, that's
there
fair.
You go, there you
that's
go.
fair.
All right. Yeah. Chapter 27?
Yes. Chapter 27. Tobias scans the scene below him. His friends are using a dump truck to sneak closer to the mega Draken beam. At the same time, a helicopter is approaching. Tobias knows from the guards that Visser 3 is expected, but no Andalite could fit inside the approaching craft. In fact, Tobias can see who is inside the helicopter. It's Arya, which means all along she has just been Visser 3 and Morph. Tobias narrates, "How could I have been so stupid? How could I have ever been stupid enough to hope? How could I have failed to know? Had I been blinded by some pathetic desire for normalcy? It was all an act. Arya saving the little girl's life. Just an act. A show put on for the benefit of any Animorph who might be watching. I raged at myself, raged and berated myself, piling anger on top of anger. Anger was good. Anger was safe. Anger was so much better than the other emotions that threatened to surface and overwhelm me." Tobias lands in the dirt, numb to the battle that is happening around him. He says that he hates himself over and over. He says that he wants to die. Toby eventually scoops Tobias up and carries him to safety, saving his life. She hands him off to Rachel, who brings Tobias back to Cassie's barn. Cassie starts to inspect Tobias for injury until he explains why he is stunned. His cousin is a trap. All along, she has been Visser 3.
So before we get into the chapter, we need to talk a little bit about the trap terminology that's used here. Eddy, I think I've been on the internet longer than you. And definitely more in anime circles. So I just need you to know that and it's not considered the most appropriate, and that's why I think you probably don't know.
I think this term is probably completely dated at this point if you're about to inform Edwin of what I think you're about to inform him.
When characters were presented as having femme presentations, and then later revealed to have penises, people would call those characters traps. And I just feel like because Visser 3 is morphing Arya, we have to be a little careful with our language here because he was morphed as a woman. We just want to be a little careful with our language.
So, Eddy, can you quick rewrite that whole description to make it less, cancelable? Yeah. Can you make it less, less like you...
From Miranda's note, what I'm going to say is his cousin is a femboy. All along, she has been Visser 3. Is that better? Yeah?
That's fine.
I think it'll also find its audience faster than these modern areas of ours. Also, Eddy, your first note is so dirty. What the hell?
Oh, I don't think of helicopters as saying flap, 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 okay? There's nothing dirty about that. It's just that's
this is like 4chan all over. It's all 4chan. Like, what's going on?
Guys, the energy is so cursed on this episode.
Yeah, it's hot outside.
It is hot outside. I think it is. Eddy, turn your AC back on lest you get hornier.
Okay, so I have a question. Why is Arya on the helicopter? I know that...
Yes,
I have an answer.
It's a bad answer.
He can't fit. They had to take him quickly by helicopter, and he could only fit in human morph.
But he has other human morphs.
I know, but he must have been in Arya morph when they landed.
He's never had to be anywhere urgently before. They haven't planned for this situation.
Like, seriously.
This is not the most urgent situation.
They also have cloaking. Like, they have cloaking that they could have applied to something.
Yeah,
like,
and he's
it's
standing on the edge of it like Jeff Probst at the beginning of a season of Survivor.
It's a lot. And it's a lot to think about the fact that he's probably almost nothlited so many times already.
It's been a mad dash for the bathroom a couple times.
Like, there's probably a scenario where he nothlets himself and Arya loves it, by the way. That just seems like he really, or Arya, sorry, I got the name wrong, loves it, by the way. And also, like, we just get him like, well, maybe I should try this nature photography.
Yeah, maybe I should just...
like, yeah,
go with my cover story. Maybe that's the move. You know what? I have a theory about that. Remind me I put a pin here.
Okay, you put a pin here.
I put a pin here.
When do you want me to remind you?
When we
Later.
read the letter. Editing, Miranda. We did not remember that I put a pin here until the end of the episode, and then I couldn't remember what it was. I think my point was going to be that after reading the letter, Visser 3 got jealous of Elfangor getting to live a human life and wanted to walk in his shoes.
Siri, set a reminder for 10. No, I'm just kidding.
The other...
Keep it in the pocket.
We literally, it's like all three of us just conked our heads together.
Okay, so I'm just gonna go to the meaty heart of this emotional chapter. And it really started for me with the, how could I have been so stupid? And he says, had I been blinded by some pathetic desire for normalcy? And like, this is the David of it all. I feel like, again, where it's like, he believes, it's like he's falling into that anger and he's going, it was stupid to ever believe anyone would love me. I'm actually garbage. You know what I mean? Like he's falling down the I'm not good enough. And that's leading me to anger instead of anything else. And anger is safe. And anger means that I don't have to feel how devastating this is. And I feel like this is, again, just like the highlighting of the differences between ways these two characters could have gone, and that it took until this moment for that to almost, and it did happen to Tobias, but like, even though Tobias was angry, he didn't then immediately lash out at people. He just shut down.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know. And he says he hates himself and he wants to die, but he actually says, I hate you, Tobias. I want you to die.
Yeah.
It's like he's removed. It's this whole thing about him not identifying with himself anymore.
Yeah.
And this whole idea of Tobias as a creature being somehow separate from him because he can't define it. He doesn't feel like it's right.
Yeah.
And so he's taking a step back and being like, if only I wasn't Tobias, if only Tobias wasn't here, if only like, and that's just really sad. And I remember having moments where I felt like I was in dialogue with myself in that way, in that very negative way.
Oh, yeah.
Where I was somehow the mean voice in my head was me on purpose. Like it just, I feel so bad for him. I want to cuddle him up like Rachel does here.
I do want to, the David comparison that we've talked about throughout the book, but it just made me think of something here, which is that Tobias and David both get alienated from their quote-unquote normal lives by kind of a preventable mistake. So like Tobias stayed, I mean, obviously Tobias has a lot going on, but he is trapped in and he didn't have normalcy before, so this doesn't really work. But he got trapped in a red-tailed hawk morph, and we've talked about whether or not he could have prevented that, and maybe even,
maybe even didn't want to prevent it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And David sold this morph cube on the internet and ended up pulling Visser 3 in. And they both kind of have these, like, David wants to believe in being able to return to his normal life by just like, he's like, maybe if I find my parents, maybe if I get my parents back, we can just pretend this never happened. And Tobias has this opportunity, seemingly, with Arya. And it's just interesting that they both want to be pulled back into this normalcy. But also, David is willing to take down everyone else in order to get that back.
Yeah.
And neither of these are actually opportunities. But Tobias is very particular in that he's only self-destructive, is what I would say. He never endangers the group, So it's just also...
Except for, failing in his duties. But...
Yeah.
Well, thanks, but
I'm just being hard on the lad. But
It's the heat.
It's the heat.
I did laugh at that. I had water in my mouth.
I was gonna say, sort of random tangent. Why are Vissers always moms or maternal figures? Like, why is it like Marco's mom's a Visser, and then Visser 3 wants to be like Tobias's new mom, and then we have Daddy Jake, and then later Daddy Elfangor. What's going on there? What's going on there?
I think maternal betrayals are often seen as some of the worst betrayals that can be committed in nature.
Many a losing finalist on Survivor has learned that people... yeah.
Can't trust moms.
Can't trust
That's
them.
true. They'll break you.
Oh, can we just highlight the adorable image of
Toby scooping up
yeah,
Tobias?
and then Rachel cradling Tobias.
And then Cassie, like, nervously looking all over and, pulling up his wing and looking and doing this and being like, where are you hit? Where are you hit? Tell me so I can help you.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm hit in the heart.
And then Marco plucking a feather to make sure he's still alive. Like, to be like, did you feel that? Did you feel that? Are you alive? He's like, ow, yes, I felt it.
Fuck you.
Yes, Jesus.
That didn't happen.
And then Jake punching Marco really hard.
And then Marco smiling.
You just really want me to spit out my drink.
A little bit. You keep drinking at hilarious times. All right. Chapters 28 and 29, Quixotonics. I don't feel like I've earned that title, but I'll try. I'll do my
It's a nod
darndest.
to your favorite band, Chris. Pentatonics, so.
You're dumb. You're fucking dumb. Turn the AC on. You're killing me.
The worst part is our listeners believe it now.
Oh my God. The next day is Tobias's birthday. He must meet with DeGroot and Arya at the law office and hear his father's massage. It's a trap, yes, but if Tobias doesn't go, Visser 3 will assume that he knows the truth. The only way out of this situation is to step right into the trap, pretending to know nothing at all. It's like I'm wearing nothing at all. Nothing at all. Nothing at all.
Stupid,
Tobias
sexy
morphs.
Flanders.
Tobias morphs into his human morph. Tobias morphs into his human form morph, and walks to the DeGroot's office. To the DeGroot's office. Oh my God, I will kill this heat. This heat. Tobias morphs into his human form and walks to DeGroot's office. He hates walking. If Arya was the real thing and Tobias had to become human, he'd have to walk all the time. No family, he says, but I could fly. Tobias is shaking by the time he reaches DeGroot's office. He isn't afraid for himself, but for his friends. If he blows his own cover as an Animorph, the others will be doomed. Popcorn Ember.
Arya greets Tobias with a hug. He does his best to maintain a street kid's demeanor, tough and distant. He can tell now that DeGroot is a controller, too, just from the way that the lawyer avoids Arya. It's exactly how all of Visser 3's underlings act around him. DeGroot cuts to the chase. They're all gathered there to reveal an important document from Tobias's father, who isn't the same man Tobias has believed to be his father. Tobias feigns disinterest, asking if the guy left any money. DeGroot reads the letter from Tobias's father, Popcorn Eddy.
Dear Tobias, I am your father. You never knew me, and I never knew you. I do not know what your life has been over these many years. I hope that your mother found someone else to love. It reads a lot differently reading it out loud. I hope that your mother found someone else to love. I know that all memory of me has been erased from her mind. All evidence of my time on Earth has been erased. I am being given this opportunity to communicate with you by the very creature who has erased my life on Earth. He has called me back to my duty, and I cannot fail. Popcorn Quicks.
This will all seem very strange to you, my unknown, unseen, unmet son. But I am not one of your people. I've taken on the form of a human, but I am not human. I was in a terrible war. I did terrible things. I had to, I suppose. But I grew tired of war, so I ran away. I went and hid among the people of Earth, among humans, where there's no war. While on Earth, and living as a human, I took the name Elfangor, but my true name is Elfangor Serenial Shamtool. Popcorn Ember.
And though you will never know me, and we will never meet, I wanted to make sure that you knew my disappearance from your life was not by my choice.
I wanted nothing more than to live out my life, loving your mother and loving you as well. But I was part of something larger than myself. I had my duty. There was a great evil I had to fight. There were lives I had to try and save, including yours and your mother's. I am from a race called Andalites. Duty is very important to us, as it is to many, many humans. I cannot say that I love you, my son, because I do not know you, but know that I wanted to love you. Know that, at least. Popcorn Eddy.
Tobias can feel the piercing gaze of Arya on him. He wants to cry, but stops himself, knowing that even a single tear will cost Tobias and his friends their lives. When the letter is finished, Tobias asks if that's it. He says that would be just his luck, a letter from a lunatic without even $1 to spare. He asks if Arya is really planning to take him in, or if she just wanted his inheritance. Arya answers that she does sincerely want to take Tobias in, but actually she has to return to Africa temporarily for a photo shoot with lions. She tells Tobias with a faraway smile. Popcorn Quicks.
I knew your father. We were, shall we say, on the opposite sides of certain issues, but he was no fool. Prince Elfangor Serenial Shamtul was no fool. And the galaxy will not see his like again. Why would Visser 3 say that? Why would he say that? What is he doing? Ember, take it away, Popcorn.
Tobias tells Arya that she's as nuts as his father. As he leaves the office, he hears Arya tell DeGroat not to bother with turning him into a controller. He's street trash, Arya says. A waste of a son. Elfangor's child should be a warrior, not some young fool. And he should be hot, too. And, ripped. Sorry. Tobias demorphs and flies to safety, then morphs back to human once more. Tobias says, "See, I wanted to cry. I wanted to cry a lot, for a long time. And hawks don't cry."
Hawks don't cry.
It's really good. There's a lot of, even in 28, there were some good little moments of setting it up before he even goes in to read the letter, when he's just like, all right, we gotta go. And he says something about needing to do this so that his friends won't get in trouble. He says, I guess it's true what they always say about combat soldiers. They may start out fighting for their country, but they end up fighting for the guy next to them in the foxhole. And I just felt like that was so, he says he doesn't really, he's like, I'm not that worried about the fate of the human race at the moment. I'm pretty fucking mad. I'm pretty upset, and I'm dealing with my own shit. Mm-hmm. But it matters to me. And I'm a hawk, by the way, so who cares about humans? But I care about specific humans. And he says, always Rachel. Always Rachel.
And he says, he does name his friends, and then he says Axeman. He doesn't say Axe.
No, because that's their cute little...
Yeah.
That's their thing. But he also doesn't say Unky Axe.
He doesn't say Unky Axe.
Even though he doesn't know yet. You're right. This is before he reads the letter.
Yeah. How do we think Elfangor did as a father? One, from the quality of his letter. And two, I mean, I'm kind of what the fuck was he even thinking sending this letter? As touching as it is, but I feel like it could create a lot of problems for...
Well, he never met his son. So what do you mean as a father? I thought he was whisked away while she was going to the doctor.
Yes. But as a future father, this was his only message he could leave him as a father. Mm-hmm. So how do we think he did?
Yeah.
His best.
He's just not a father. Yeah. It's he doesn't know what he's doing.
Yeah. I guess the bigger thing for me is he has no idea what's going on for the person receiving this message, right?
No.
And he could be endangering their life. He could be endangering them by...
Well, I think
telling them aliens exist. What is... If the Yeerks had not reached Earth yet, he could be creating a lot of confusion and questions for this.
I think that lawyers probably have to deal with weirder instructions in people's wills.
I have a suspicion that the instructions for when to read this to him were... we've been lied to about them. The fact that it's on his next birthday, whatever birthday that may be, whatever, you know what I mean? Like, I suspect they ginned up these circumstances to get it to happen as soon as possible. They probably looked up Tobias's birthday in the system and saw that it was soon and like came up with that.
So what do you think the circumstances were?
That's the thing, is I can't think what the real circumstances he left would have been.
Right. And we find out a little later on that, like, this was an Ellimist's, like
the whole thing
offer,
reeks
like,
of Ellimist, yeah.
But so...
he says that the Ellimist let him do it.
Yeah.
And so that's important, though, because, like, I just, like, imagining him being like, well, do I have a lawyer? And, like, being like, Elfangor, I need to call my lawyer. He calls his lawyer. He goes in with 4 hooves. And, I mean, he was already not-flooded at that point, I would imagine. But, like, yeah, no, it's, like, it's just interesting... I don't know, like the Ellimist probably just made a lot of hand-wavy stuff.
So I have a bit of a theory that I think the Ellimist jumped to possibly this very timeline and saw that this letter reinvigorated Tobias's will to fight. And so it's I think he was like, hey, can I leave a message for my son? And he was like, give me a sec, jumped around timelines, checked things out, was like, okay, here's how we're going to do it.
Yeah.
All right, cool, yeah. Yeah, I like that theory. I think that is like...
But I don't know what the original instructions would have been. I don't know. I also think it's really crazy. Like, Visser 3 had a plan for enemies to lovers with Elfangor, and it stopped before they got to the lovers bit. And I think he's really mad that he was so good at being an enemy that he literally killed the man he loved.
Yeah, there is like, he doesn't know how to exist without Elfangor now. Like, he's been longing for another Elfangor ever since.
He's like, he admired him. He's like, the galaxy will not soon see another of his, like, caliber. He was amazing. Like, because he's like, he's like, my dad was just some fool with no money. He's like, he was not a fool. I'm sorry. I knew him a little bit, and he was not a fool.
But if that's the case, why did Visser 3 just turn into a big Venus flytrap alien and then
eat him?
I mean, I think I know the answer. I think it's actually because he feared him. He thought he would lose if he fought him one-on-one.
Kirby's 4.
But it's just such a disrespectful way to kill you. Like, he ate him. And he ate him while he was wounded.
Is it, though, because it's also bringing them in as part of you?
Yeah, it's very intimate.
Absorbing
We've talked
strength.
about how killing with the mouth is the most intimate way to kill.
It's the most intimate, but that's why your dog is going to do that. That's why your cat's going to do that. It's because it's the lovingest way to kill.
Yeah? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, think about that. You're telling me you're not going to eat my heart right after I die.
If I remember right, Elfangor was like screaming for help as he like, not help, but he was like, it was a horrible death. And it just is.
It was not good.
Yeah.
His screams of pain, like the kids couldn't block them out.
Yeah.
Well, and he was broadcasting on all channels.
During the digestion process, that's the part I couldn't.
Literally, there were
Live
people like across the street with their windows closed.
Yeah.
Just had screams beat into their head.
Okay, we are.
But what was he DMing Visser 3 at that time? Will we ever know?
Yeah. But this was quite the daddy drop. I mean, like, like we knew it. We knew.
Yeah.
Come on, we knew.
Yeah.
We predict this is back in book 1.
Yeah.
No,
we predicted something was up, but yes, we knew from Andalite Chronicles. And I actually really liked the way they chose to do this. I was like, we've been waiting to see how Tobias was going to find out. And I think finding out from Elfangor, even when that was impossible, was like, I was really pleased with how they brought it full circle.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, it was very moving, and especially the fact that Tobias can't react, that he has to kind of disguise, like, and he has this whole thing of being alien to his human body. Now he has forgotten how to be in that body, and then he's like trying to fight back tears. So we don't actually get the release of Tobias like crying that we at the end of the chapter. He morphs back to human to like release all of this emotion, but he has to hold it back the whole chapter, and it's such a big reveal.
Which is something that his life as a hawk trained him to be able to do.
Yeah.
He couldn't have done this without the experiences that he had. He could not have arrived at this moment without the things that led him here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very well done. It's a really lovely payoff to a question that's been looming for quite some time now.
Yeah.
Shall we see how he feels about it?
Yeah, chapter 30?
Once he's done crying?
I have one more thing. I have a Visser 3 note.
Okay.
I feel like someone told Visser 3, you're playing this boy's family member. You have to hug him. I can't imagine Visser 3 thought, I'm going to open with a hug.
No. Visser 3 came up. He's directed.
Okay.
He knows that's Elfangor's son.
Yeah.
Right.
He wants to be close to Elfangor's son. He thinks he does. He's so disappointed. That's why he's like, don't even bother. I'll just be mad if I see him around the office all day.
Do you think part of him wanted to morph into the Venus flytrap again and eat Tobias as well to absorb
Probably, but the strip mall wouldn't have handled it.
I don't think so. I think he's a consummate professional, Ed. I think he gets the dossier of what he needs to do and he goes up and he hugs the kid.
Yeah.
But I don't think that DeGroat knows anything about acting, as is evidenced by how he immediately gave up the whole spiel.
Yeah, that's right. He starts reading the letter, just staring him in the eyes.
We didn't get a reaction. I'll just breeze through all the lovey-dovey stuff. It's like,
and I think his delivery was great. I feel like if there's one thing DeGroat could do, he can read a letter well. And I
don't think that's true. I think he could have finessed this whole thing more and gotten more out of Tobias. Really run him through the ringer. Don't just be like, well, we dropped Elfangor's full name. Let's see what this kid's gonna do to that. And it's like no reaction. It's like, dude, don't give up.
He did keep going. He said his name several more times. He talked about Andalites. He did all those things, and Tobias still didn't react. And he was like, "Is that it?" He's like, "No." He says he loves you or some shit, I guess.
I just think if
It says he did not love him. He would have loved him, I think is what he says.
I actually also like that because I think that's something that, as a kid, you're expected to, love people or treat people with love that you don't know, like Arya hugging Tobias. Mm-hmm. And, to set up this expectation that, you don't have to tell someone you don't know you love them just because of who they are. He's like, I don't know you, so I can't love you, but I would have loved to love you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just feels funny to lead with that first part.
But
I agree.
It also feels like the Andalite in him a little bit, because Andalites are very logical, I thought it played well, personally. I liked it.
Yeah.
It was a little, I don't think it was I think he's already down a couple points as a father for including that. But
I guess so. But for all we know, Andalite fathers don't say I love you at all.
Yeah.
I don't love you because Andalite fathers never say that.
Yeah.
So.
I do think that it's interesting imagining all of this from Elfangor's point of view, that he wrote this letter, probably spent all of this time wishing that he could have met his son, and then to land back on Earth and
a talk show, right? To get a whole talk show series
to say goodbye,
for 5 seasons.
His son, and then make intense eye contact with him as he's being eaten by Visser 3. That's all a father wants, I think, right?
Yeah,
that's beautiful.
And he didn't make it much longer in the war either, as I recall. He was only there for a couple more months. He went back and lived out a few months, but he had shot him forward in time or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
I may be misremembering that,
show
but
with Visser 3.
Shall we take a look at chapter 30?
Yeah.
I'm off in my own world. Where Visser 3 is now
You're actually writing fan fiction.
Is now Stephen Colbert. Right. Let's go. Okay, chapter 30.
Okay.
Eddie, take it away. Don't fuck it up.
Do you think that was the advice that Elfangor wanted to give to Tobias?
And remember, don't fuck it up.
Don't fuck it up. Everything is clear to Tobias now. Lawyer DeGroat, a controller, inherited his law office as well as the letter from his father. Lawyer DeGroat must have read the letter and reported it upon seeing Elfangor's name. Reported it to Visser 3. Given that Tobias was no longer in the school system and was not in the custody of his aunt and uncle, Visser 3 had done what any one of us would hope to do in order to apprehend Elfangor's son. Role play as Tobias's famous, benevolent, long-lost photographer cousin, which is to say, he offered Tobias a home. Visser 3's trap would have worked, too, had he not been called to investigate those captured free Hork-Bajir. Of course, Visser 3 needed to get to the facility quickly, and so he had chosen to travel by helicopter. But Andalites don't fit into helicopters, and so Visser 3 had no choice but to travel in his Ariamorph, which in turn gave away Visser 3's plan. You see, it wasn't at all that Visser 3 just wanted an excuse to stay in the Ariamorph. Tobias flies back to his meadow. He narrates, I landed back on my favorite branch in my favorite tree. He had left me. My mother never remembered him. He had never existed for her, so she did not feel the pain of it, and I would have not known but for the letter. And now I guess I could be angry at him. But that wasn't how I felt. Elfangor had run away from his duty when he came to Earth. He'd had no choice but to return to that duty. No choice at all if he was to play the part he had to play and be the great prince he was. I'd lost a father. Because of that fact, Elfangor had been where he had to be when he had to be there to change the lives of 5 ordinary kids. And maybe save the human race. I wondered why the Ellimist had allowed my father to leave that letter. But I didn't wonder for long. The answer was too simple. See, I had a duty too. And who is there to remind you that what you want for yourself is less important than doing what is necessary and right?
Message received, Father. Message received.
I didn't like that part, so I cut it from my description.
Yeah, it wasn't my favorite.
I imagine him like tipping 2 fingers to the sky, like, gotcha, Papa.
2 little hop fingers.
No, I think it doesn't work without some kind of payload like that. Yeah. Like it should have been like Daddy Elfangor or something like that.
10-4, Dad. 10-4.
Yeah, 10-4, Dad.
I don't know. This feels a little. I'm happy for him. It feels a little weird. It's like, yay, he can fight in the war again with new gumption. Hooray! And also, like, if Dad does come back with the milk and cigarettes 20 years later, is it just better because now you realized how much you wanted that milk and cigarettes? Like, because that kind of feels like what he's like, now I knew I had a dad.
He was getting the cigarettes for you.
Yeah, all the better for knowing. And then also,
that's what my question.
Didn't we hear his mom went crazy? He's like, she didn't remember him.
Yeah. She ends up with somebody else and it doesn't go well. It's not very stable.
And like I don't know, just like I feel like there were things about her not being all there. Like people said to him that his mother was crazy. And so he's like, she didn't remember him, so she didn't experience the pain. But I'm like, I think she did, dude, actually. Yeah. Like, I don't know if she remembered him or not, but like...
But also the Ellimist, or Elfangor doesn't know that.
That's
the
true.
Ellimist knows
That's
that.
true.
Yeah, like, that's the thing, right? It's like the Ellimist is like a genie in a bottle kind of thing.
And so Tobias is
Monkey's
assuming that everything Elfangor said would happen is what happened.
That's what I mean, that like, when I asked, like, is Elfangor being, and maybe the question isn't, is he being a good father here, but is this the right thing to do? Is the letter more for Elfangor than it is for Tobias, even though it's... Yeah? Yeah. Because what if Tobias and we don't know, like you said, Miranda, we don't know what the conditions are, but what if Tobias is like gone to therapy and worked through these things and suddenly he has this, either he has a wound opened up or he has this whole other wound, which I feel like is going to happen regardless. Like it just is, in this timeline, and I think this is where the Ellimist manipulation comes in, maybe. This was what Tobias needed to hear.
Yeah.
Or at least it's easier to argue that. But if in the timeline where, in so many other timelines, it maybe is making things more complicated and painful.
Yeah, in the timeline that in theory Elfangor is wishing for, the Yeerks don't even actually make a mark on Earth. And so, like, he never gets to meet him because he died in battle, which he doesn't even know. I think the Ellimist tells him he can't come back or something, but he's like, he doesn't get to know his son, but he should hopefully be assuming he's living a happy life and his mom found someone else to like, he thinks that they're pleased as punch and living a great life. And if that was true, and Tobias had a wonderful mom and person he thought was his dad, this is a terrible letter to receive.
It's a bad idea. Yeah. It's true.
That's why I think the Ellimist had to check ahead to make sure it was a good idea.
No, like she's out of the picture. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think like any idea that this actually makes, like, with Miranda's theory of like the timelines work out well enough for the Ellimist aims, like I think that's what we're talking about here. I don't think this is like so much what he needed to hear. I think a couple things happened all at once, which is like he got out of his choice that he was given all book was defaulted on because it was suddenly not real, right?
Yeah.
So it's like he no longer can run towards his family. But that's like important because like he still has this like open moral quandary, but there was a real time pressure placed on it. And so the letter from the dad seems to have reassured him slightly, but it is just sort of a coinky dink at all that we're getting a resolution here because the resolution is that Arya isn't a viable option.
Yeah.
And then anything else is gravy. Like he does in the next chapter sort of internalize this in a way that is him affirming and like something really clicks for him. But I don't know that the letter itself, the presence of the letter has something to do with that. The content of the letter, I'm a little.
It was a little less important.
Yeah.
As long as it wasn't actively harmful.
Right.
Yeah.
But it does sound like the letter that Elfangor would have written.
Yeah.
So in that regard, yeah. Chapter 31?
Shall we away?
Yeah.
All right, let's do it. Tobias finally catches the rabbit. He switches to his prey's POV once again, but this time he does not flee from his vision. He pays attention to what the vision is trying to communicate. As he clings to the rabbit, talons buried in its neck, Tobias acquires the rabbit's DNA. Then he tightens his grip until the rabbit stops squirming. Tobias is a hawk, he says, who needs to kill in order to survive. He is also a human, who can never take a life without feeling the weight of that act. Tobias is both. You always kill to eat, he imagines Elfangor saying to him, and you will always regret. Tobias morphs into the mother rabbit that he just devoured and leads the baby rabbits back to their burrow. I killed to eat, he says, but I didn't need to eat these little ones. These I would save. These little ones I could pity. That was the human thing to do. Tobias flies to Rachel's house. He wakes her up. She shows Tobias the birthday cake that she bought for him. She lights the candle, and he blows it out by flapping his wings. Rachel wishes him a happy birthday.
That is how the book ends. It's very
so
cute. You will always kill to eat,
cute.
and you will always regret is a brutal fucking line.
Yeah. Yeah.
And applies to so much, and it's so beautiful. And the whole thing of this dichotomy of him is beautiful, and like him coming to see it and be like, oh, the problem was always that I was refusing to accept that these two things could exist at the same time, but there is a way that they can.
And it doesn't make you a bad hawk or a bad human.
It makes you. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
He's a hawk of all trades.
Yeah.
And he says it's his duty to be what he is, which is a hawk, which runs on instinct, but it's also his duty to be a boy who runs on emotion, and he has to do both those things.
Sorry.
Boys are powered by emotion. You heard it here first.
It's 100% true.
It's an Anidorks exclusive.
I also just want to, I don't understand exactly what his plan is with the babies. He's going to... So we talked about how efficient his plan was, but that, I think, is what he's saying was hurting him, if that makes sense. Like, the idea of being that ruthless, of killing the babies so that the mother could keep producing babies, that was going too far for him. So now he was going to kill the mother, ensure the babies survived, and then just, eat other prey that comes into the meadow? Like, be a female rabbit and make more babies? Why not just stay as a rabbit for a little while and munch up and fill on grass while you can? The grass goes with, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. I do feel like it reaches more of an emotional. It's reaching for more of an emotional truth than actually like something that makes plot sense. Especially because this also seems to, and I'm fine with that, but it also seems to resolve the other hawk plot line, which like that other hawk's not going to be like, oh, I see that you got the mother rabbit and now I will leave.
Yeah. Oh, I just got totally rabbit mogged. I'm going to leave. Yeah. Like that's not what happened.
No, the rabbit is the hawk is going to know that the rabbits are like, it's not a pretty picture. I do think his solution is human in a way that's emotionally driven. Again, centering his own guilt. I think it possibly would have been better to eat one of the babies and maybe not kill all the babies. Maybe
Yeah.
that would have been the move.
Is this
And
like
then
a
the
sense
mother-
of, have you ever turned, and I never say it right, but it's like noblesse oblige. It's like what the ruling class owes to those beneath them. And I'm like, is that what he's doing here? He's like, other hawk, these rabbits are now under my protection, for I am the king of this meadow.
Well,
it is kind of that vibe.
Tobias going to be a kind of aria for the baby rabbits, and is he going to raise them? Maybe it's a callback.
That's what I'm
to book
wondering. I
9
don't
and the
know.
mother's
We don't
gone.
get told.
Yerk them?
No, not
Yeah.
yerk them. Be what Arya
the
was
vision
supposed
of what
to
Arya
be.
was
Yeah,
supposed
be what
to
Arya was
Got it. I was
supposed to
like,
be.
Yeah, he's going to be
Can't
a
yerk
rabbit
rabbit.
version
The size of the head
a,
seems important.
a nature photographer.
Yes.
You know? So
Yeah.
I will say, considering the point of view of other people is always important. Especially
as you bear down on
down
them
to kill
as
them.
a hawk.
and
Yes,
it's like when
exactly.
if you're in a cutthroat corporate environment, sometimes people are going to do awful shit to you, and sometimes you're going to feel like you have to do awful shit back, and maybe you do, but in those moments,
you can be their
remember
mother rabbit.
you can be kind. Remember you can choose kindness.
yeah. I do want to underline how touching I found this ending. Did it make a whole lot of sense to me? No. But did I put those thoughts
did I
aside and
start
just feel
crying?
the feelings?
Oh, yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah. Big
And
big.
I
yes.
didn't mean to. I decided. I don't think we actually know this in the chapter summary. I decided that Rachel bought the cake. I don't actually know how she acquired the cake.
That's
Yeah,
true. She just
I
showed-
thought about calling
He says
that
she
out.
showed me the cake. And
Yeah.
that's
Is it
the
Cassian cake morph? I don't know. It could
You don't know. Adding to the cannibalistic.
Wait, don't cut it, don't cut it.
Don't cut it, don't cut it. And Jake's the candle. Oh,
Again, another thing that makes emotional sense, and I like,
killed him.
but I don't actually. Couldn't Jake have, or couldn't Tobias just have morphed back to his human form to blow out the candle?
I think
yes.
he'll blow out.
about
Here's the
efficiency.
thing. I think he'll morph back to human to eat the cake, but he blows out the candle as the hawk. That's the way of being both. You know what I mean? He's celebrating his human birthday, but he's doing it as the hawk. Like that's like the marriage of the two.
And we all have that friend who goes to blow out the candles and just goes like this real fast
Yeah.
with their hand back and forth.
Yeah, that's me. That's me.
It's unhygienic. They get spit on it if I blow on it. You don't see it. I'm not trying to spit on it, but it will happen.
That's how COVID spreads. What, Ed?
There was something with the cake. So Tobias presumably is going to eat this cake. And it's interesting that he's been starving all book, and it ends with Rachel providing him with food,
That
but
he
it's not
accepts.
really sustenance.
That's
like,
true.
And she doesn't know that he already had dinner earlier when he ate the mother
But isn't
rabbit.
that just what a teen relationship is? Someone
yeah.
providing you
They
with a
probably take
partnership
for-
that's not really sustenance.
or
Like-
sustaining? Yeah. Yeah, it's a good point. Yeah, and they probably eat cake for dinner all the time. So
Yeah, I think you're right in a literary sense. Like that is what we're seeing here.
She's still feeding
but
him.
I
Yeah,
don't
it's
think
cute.
I think
It's
it's
good.
still that.
I think it's
Yeah,
still
yeah,
just
yeah,
good.
Yeah,
I think it's just
yeah.
oh
Happy
yeah,
You don't have to
birthday,
take the-
Tobias.
This isn't a Kafka Animorphs, Eddie. You can't just like.
every Animorphs is a Kafka Animorphs if you think about it.
That's actually true. Metamorphosis shares a lot with this.
Yeah, especially when they become bugs.
how do we think talons do with because so Tobias? I don't know if we've talked about this before. Tobias acquires the rabbit with his talons. Do we think it's the same as acquiring with a human hand?
So
Oh
here's
my
my
God.
thought. The
I can
talon
hear the
is the
boop, boop, boop,
nail.
boop, boop.
The talon is, but we
This
have
is
more to do.
insane.
The talon is the nail. So like it's the foot that's touching. Like he's touching a little bit with his bird foot. He's not. Or can you acquire through fingernails? I don't know.
There are no rules.
That's
isn't,
true.
This isn't. There are no rules. I can acquire with a sneeze. If somebody sneezes hard enough, I can
That's
acquire
true.
their morph.
Do we want to do next book tagline reading?
Mm-hmm.
I can try to do it.
All
What?
right, sounds good.
Let's see. What's the next book? The Suspicion.
Okay.
It has Cassie
Okay, go
morphing
ahead.
into an anteater on the cover.
That's helpful.
And it's got a lot of colors, actually. It's like pink to purple to blue to green back to blue again.
Okay.
And The TV series was out at this point. It says, watch Animorphs on Nickelodeon TV.
Wow, that's new, I think.
No, that's on 23 too. Oh. Look at the copy you took from me.
Oh, yeah.
All right. I need to come up with a third. I have 2.
Remember, you could do up to 6 or 7.
So. Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
All right. You are what you eat. Appearances are often deceiving. Or, what counts is on the inside. Most of the time.
What was number 2 again?
Appearances are often deceiving. Sorry, I minimized it.
Okay.
I'm going to go with number 3 because I think the most of the time, if it's on the cover, I want to live in a world where that's on the cover because it's funniest. Like, it's like somebody was like, most of the time. It's very 90s.
Yeah, I'll go with number 2 because I feel like that's thematically consistent with Animorphs taglines. It feels right to me.
All right.
So
the answer is number 3. What counts is on the inside most of the time.
I'm the best.
Okay,
I did a good job making them up.
You did.
I didn't do a very good job making them up.
You did.
I had to panic.
What does this mean? Oh, I guess because it's kids inside of these animals. Is that what we're going with here?
I don't know.
The kids are not inside. Do you know how the work? That's crazy. Do you think that they like morph an animal? There's just like a
little kid inside
controlling like a giant puppet.
Oh
yeah, it's kind of like a Halloween costume, Chris. I don't know how you missed that.
Oh my God! It's like that movie Pixar.
The kid goes with. That's what we always say. So.
Kid goes with. My God, sure does.
That's definitely the end of the episode.
Thanks for listening to Anidorks. We'll be back soon with lots more to say. Until the Andalites return, or at least until next time. See you soon!